collaborate and participate with those other disciplines is really, really important. And I think that, needs to be a push as well. Not just for behavior analysts, right? Also for the other clinicians.
Sure.
And so,
yeah.
and really finding the value and the importance of how we can really help one another out. Because again, we're talking a lot about bidirectional through this entire thing, and it's a bidirectional relation there as well.
I think it's hard because it takes time, and time usually means time either away from work where you're generating revenue based on a fee for service, godforsaken fee for service, decrepit old system basis, or you're taking time away from family or hobbies or whatever to go do this, like, hey, we're doing this rising tide floats all boats, advocate for the profession thing. It's like, well, if I can't see it and it's not tangibly evidentiary, affecting me in my life, I don't know if I want to do it. And we got to get out of the competitive mindset too. Like we're all competing over this like zero sum quantity of hurt in the community.
Yeah.
Oh no, if I collaborate with a social worker, they might steal my clients. It's like, no.
Or my colleagues might be like, why are you talking to that social worker? What are you doing? You're a behavior analyst, And so
they're the enemy.
Yeah, they're the enemy. So kind of getting over that as well. And, and I think it goes back to the premises. We could sit here and talk to it till we're blue in the face, right? But at a certain point, somebody has to step up and just say, like, if not me, then who, right? So we also have to stop this heavy reliance. And I know Molly and I, we experience this in our field in terms of, policy and things like that, really just relying on those 5 or 6 people to carry the torch. Like at a certain point, that torch needs to be passed and it needs to be passed again. And at a certain point, and Molly and I have talked about this, then we need to go light things on fire, because that's really what needs to happen, right? Like not one person can hold this. It's a participatory process. And so I really think we need to, kind of jump on that bandwagon.
And I wonder too, if there's not some deeper truth in what you just said there about the handful of people who are carrying the torch. I wonder if it's just kind of always been that way across all professions, where the vast majority of the people, think about your standard distribution curve, like the vast majority of the people aren't out at the incrementally small or infinitesimally small percentage of leaders. And they're also not out at the end of, the other tail of the curve of the people who are doing harm. Most of them are just moving along in life. And so maybe it's us, it's we, the leaders, who need to align our expectations with reality too, and go, I guess it is me for a few years, and not just this like one shot deal where I'm going to inspire a whole bunch of people and light things on fire. And they're going to be like, yeah, I want to go chair the board or run the organization or found something. Cause it's just not within most people to do that. And that's fine. And that maybe we just need to learn to embrace that and carry it forward, without getting frustrated.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate both your time a great deal. Thank you so much. And I know our listening audience probably appreciates it. I can't speak for them, but I'm sure they like it. This is what I'm doing lately with the podcast. What is one thing that you would give to our audience to take away, or some just major thematic exhortation you might leave the audience? Molly, we'll start with you.
Oh, I was hoping you start with Bridge. I'm thinking that's a big question. I think for everybody, just especially for parents, I would say, I don't know who your audience might be, but for clinicians in particular, actually, try to get people collecting data in some way on their own behaviors, and specifically on their own behaviors, not just on the behaviors of others, but on their behaviors, and maybe also track how it's happening or how it's impacting their environment. And that includes their children, their spouse, their friends, and just watch it. Because, there's a saying, like, once you start collecting data, and that could be very, like I said, very formal or just in journal format, you're going to change. The behavior changes because you're aware of it. And just start with that. If you have something that you want to shift, do it that way.
What's an example? Like a concrete example, or a handful of concrete examples. What's something that, say, I or you, or what can somebody track? What do we want to start with?
You could track anything. I mean, a good one is exercise, self-exercise, obviously, right? But when it comes to, parenting, I'd say, at one point we had a really difficult time with my oldest waking pleasant in the morning. And so that was my example earlier. It was a lot of dramatics in the morning, and it was, I have three kids, so it always filtered down to the other two. And so we started tracking what we were doing. What was our bedtime routine like? What was our morning routine like? And what was our how did we behave, my husband and I? Were we chipper in the morning? Were we sitting on the couch trying to drink our coffee while they were running wild? All of those little things added up, and we figured out, based on talking about it and writing things down, a happy medium that we could have what we needed in the morning, and my kids could get what they needed from us and from each other in the morning, and everybody can kind of exist and thrive. So that's one thing.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be a problem area. It could just be, as an experiment, something you want to become more aware of.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Or if your spouse is constantly complaining to you about a certain thing, maybe start tracking it.
Yep.
not elbowing anyone under the table or anything. Bridget, what's your giveaway to the audience? What would you like them to take?
I appreciate you saying the data, Molly, because I think that's super important. And I think, as far as just clinically, know that we're here, right? We're here as a profession, and the vast majority of us are happy to help and be collaborative with other professions. And so knowing that there may be things that you can help us with, and maybe things in our bag of expertise that we can help you with, feel free to reach out.
You can be happy to help, and I'll be happy to help.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you both. Appreciate you. And we'll just keep moving this thing forward, making Earth better. So on behalf of the Noggin Notes family and the Zephyr Wellness family, we wish you all great mental wellness. Bye-bye.